Ritc is a rule engine aimed at SaaS and IoT. So what does Ritc offer? The number of IoT devices is exploding as we speak. Soon, what we call big data will be little by comparison. How will we manage the devices, the data streaming from them, and changes in the devices used, in their traffic patterns, and in our requirements in handling all this? Ritc was built to address this challenge. Ritc's answer is to use rules to express business logic. Rules have advantages over hard-coded business logic. They're autonomous, and they can be managed in plug-and-play fashion, so you can add and remove rules without breaking the application. Let's start with the basics. Ritc has a strong and flexible rule architecture. A rule can have one or more triggers, one or more actions. The main work of triggers and actions is to make requests to REST APIs, to use the trigger responses to determine if the rule can fire, and to perform the actions if the rule did fire. Triggers and actions can access any defined accessible REST API without using SDKs. Access to third-party and internal APIs is done through channels and channel functions. A channel represents an API, such as Facebook or a type of device. Channel functions define what you can do with a channel. And using Swagger, definition files can be imported into Ritc for immediate access to any REST API. This is a game changer that accelerates your ability to build rules quickly, within minutes. Ritc has a concept also called app, where an app is simply a group of rules. An app can be a component of another app, so you can build composable applications. Microservices. Now, microservices is not such a new concept, but has been gaining in popularity recently as an architectural style antithetical to the monolithic applications of old. Ritc has its own API, and therefore enables rules to behave like microservices. Ritc fits perfectly into the microservices landscape, where Ritc rules can be seen as a layer or layers above the microservices they call. The heavy lifting is done by these microservices, and Ritc intelligence is applied at the architectural level. So, to recap, rules are easier to manage. You can import Swagger files for immediate access to your REST APIs. You can build composable apps. Apps and rules are like microservices. As I mentioned in the beginning, Ritc can run in the cloud, rules in the cloud, and also on microcontrollers. Any microcontroller that runs Linux and Node.js. There are a number of deployment options in the cloud, some of which, such as Amazon Lambda, that can scale up quickly to large numbers of instances. Ritc offers a visual rule editor, so that rules and apps can be built by programmers and non-programmers alike. But it operates through its API. That's the foundation of the product. Ritc has its own API and is aware of its own API. So this means that Ritc rules can create rules. And although there's no innate deep machine learning capability within Ritc, this does allow some interesting and useful applications, such as dynamic classification, where rules are created to handle new patterns that emerge in the data. Ritc is a generalized rule engine and is not tied to a particular application type, industry, or vertical. It is a horizontal product. For those who question this strategy, well, everyone uses rules in many different contexts, so it really does have broad application. But one big advantage that Ritc has over other specific solutions is that it is easier to adapt to change. Change of ownership due to acquisition, change of requirements to keep in step with the market. For example, the need for additional data sources that did not exist when the rules were first created. The pace of business is increasing, so it doesn't help to have a product that cannot adapt quickly. Ritc can adapt quickly. The types of applications that Ritc may be good for are aggregation of data from multiple sources, where real-time analytics is involved, where you want to make sense of data, enabling meaningful, relevant actions to take place in real time from the data being processed. Ritc can help you face the challenges of SaaS and IoT. Thanks for listening.